Hey guys, Matthew Hamill here, and this is a companion video to my blog post, MLM Prospecting 101, A Better Way to Prospect. And I know I covered a lot in the post, but I wanted to give you some examples of questions that you should be asking your prospects. Here are the different types of questions that you should be asking and some sample questions to consider using. First, you want to, start with background questions. So, and examples of background questions would be, what kind of work do you do? How long have you been doing it? What drew you into this type of work? Those sorts of things. Next kind of questions are going to be needs awareness development. So these questions are going to actually allow you to become aware of your prospects' needs and actually develop them and draw them out. So, do you like what you're doing? What do you like, don't like about your work? Why do you like, not like, blah, blah, blah about your work? Is there anything else you don't like about your work? Why do you like, not like, what everything they said about their job? And why is doing or not doing all of that important to you? How do you feel about doing or not doing such and such? Needs awareness continued. So, what would you change about your job if you could? Why would you change? And notice that the why questions, that's what draws out the emotional side of your prospect, because the what would you change about your job if you could? That's a logical question, and it's not really, it's not really going to be the linchpin to their change or to their motivation to change. The linchpin to their motivation to change is their whys. So why would you change? Why is that important to you? How do you feel about that? That's another good question. How do you feel about such and such? How do you feel that you don't get enough hours? How do you feel that you don't spend enough time with your family? How do you feel that you can never ever take a vacation? How do you feel that you bust your butt 6 days a week, working 80 hours plus, and you don't make that much money? I mean, stuff like that. Really get into their emotions. Is there anything else you would change? How does that make you feel knowing that you don't have what you said you wanted? What would you rather do if you could? How would that make you feel if you could do that? What's stopping you from getting what you want? And here's some consequence questions. These questions are kind of, what if you didn't get that? Or what will you do if you cannot achieve this? Or you can't spend time with your family? What will you do, if you don't take action? What are going to be the consequences of you not taking action? And then you want to come to some solution questions. Now, mind you, these aren't all, it doesn't have to go in this order. You can go down one trail and find out a bunch of things about a prospect in one area, and then come back to background questions and kind of start it all over. But all in all, you're building a relationship and you're building rapport and you're building trust, and you're getting to know if there actually is a problem that you can solve. Because remember, you're not a salesman. You're not just a network marketing distributor. You are a problem solver. So here's some solution questions for you. What have you done about it, if anything? Find out if they tried anything. Have you looked for anything that would give you what you're seeking? See if they're actually open. See if they're actively looking for a solution. This is kind of helping you qualify them, and it's you're already getting into their mind and their emotions. So these questions are just kind of, the answers are, they're just gonna flow from your prospect. So have you looked for anything that you would anything that would give you what you're seeking? What would you do about it if you could? Why is that? Why is that important to you? What's preventing you from making a change or doing it right now? So those are some solution questions that you can consider. Now, here's your qualifying question. So, and this is common, but this is something that I use, and it's a variation. You can take it and make it your own and all that, but just use this as a template, if you will. So, let me ask you, if something came along that would give you all the things you wanted, such as, and then you would repeat the logical and emotional dreams and desires that they have, and none of the things you don't like, such as, repeat their negatives, would you look at an opportunity like that? Another way of saying it would be, if if there was something that could give you the free time that you need to spend with your family, that would allow you to work from home and be your own boss and make the kind of money to retire your husband, would you be open to taking a look at something like that? Couple things. First off, people are always open, they're never interested. The word interested has a bad rap to it, so always use open. Are you open to this? Are you open to that? It works better. Trust me, when you start using open instead of interested, because interested is tied to salesy, interested is tied to scams and all that good stuff. But watch the results and watch the difference in response you get when you start asking, are you open to? And the second thing is, when you're asking this qualifying question, instead of saying, if I could show you, you don't want to say that, because what that does is it takes focus off of your prospect and puts it back onto you, and it puts you back into selling mode. So you want to keep the focus on your prospect. This whole sequence is about your prospect and solving their problem. So it's never, if I can show you, that's never the case. If I can show you is never the case. I wish I would have made slides for this so you could take notes easier, but I'm just kind of going off, stream of consciousness. But, if I could show you is not what you want to do. But if there was a way, or if there was something that, or something like, keep the focus on them. It has nothing to do with you. And finally, I just have a bonus, and it's the best way to respond to someone who asks you, what do you do? And this is, the template for how I respond. And it's, well, you know how the economy is in shambles and people are losing their jobs due to corporate downsizing or just getting laid off after years of employment? Well, I actually help people set up their own home business so that they get their life back in order. What do you do? And you ask that question right after, and you flip it back on them, and you keep the questions coming to them. You don't want the focus on you. You want the focus on them. You need to be finding out what they're looking for. So as soon as you say, well, the economy is blah, 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 I help people build their own business and, so they can get their life back in order and stuff like that. What do? Flip it right back on them. Get back control of that conversation, because that's how you keep control of a conversation, really, is by asking questions. The person who is asking the questions is in total control of the conversation. So notice that next time you see somebody who may be a good prospect, start asking questions. Find out what they like, what they don't like, what they want, what's hurting them. Find out their problems and see if you can genuinely be a solution or offer them a genuine solution. Don't try to sell them. Don't try to shove your agenda down their throat, because I'm telling you right now, they're not going to go for it. They're going to hate the way they feel about it. And you yourself are going to hate the way you feel about it. And you may even quit the business because of it. So I'm just trying to help you prevent yourself from, ending up on the NFL, which is the no friends list, and, building a profitable business and making a true difference in other people's lives, because really that's what this industry is all about, making a difference in somebody else's life. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave them below. And if you're watching this on YouTube, I actually have a link back to the original blog post for this below this video. And I also have a link to a master sponsoring series if you want to go more in depth into the subject of sponsoring and recruiting. So again, this is Matthew Hamill. Thanks for watching, and we'll talk to you soon.